Hi everyone, welcome to this training video on 5 things you can do when you're out of a job and when bills are piling up. This is a tough time for a lot of us and I'm hoping that I can give you some solutions in the middle of this difficult situation. If you're already an existing subscriber, welcome back to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing below so you can get instant updates from me about things that can help your financial future. Please also click the notification button so you can get an instant notification, and more importantly, please click the subscribe button because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over 5 things that you can do if you're out of work and if you have bills that are piling up. The first thing, make sure that you're applying for all available benefits, and this includes unemployment from your state. I'll talk about this in a little bit more detail in a minute. Number 2, make a budget and get rid of all unnecessary expenses. Only focus on the bare essentials that you absolutely need in your day-to-day life. Number 3, get in touch with all your creditors. This could be credit card companies, this could be your mortgage company, your auto loans. Get in touch with all of them so that you can start to explore available options for relief. Number 4, protect your identity, because identity theft is a major problem that's starting to emerge now. Several thousand websites have been set up by scammers trying to get your information and trying to intercept your stimulus checks and maybe even get unemployment benefits in your name. So you need to be very careful about that, and I'll go over several suggestions for you about that. And the 5th point is tap into IRAs or credit cards as a last resort. You'll have to tap into those savings if you have run out of options. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the very first point. Make sure that you are applying for all available benefits. Now, as you know, state insurance programs, state benefits, all have been in a state of extreme overload because states are just not equipped to handle all of these claims. In fact, the Friday job report that came out from the Labor Department, the April jobs report that came out on Friday, revealed that while the unemployment rate for America was 4.4% in March, it went up dramatically to almost 20% in the month of April. So all states are now completely overloaded. Like I mentioned in other training videos, states simply don't have the software systems. States simply don't have the manpower to be able to cope with all of this massive number of claims. Now, traditionally, unemployment is meant to replace right around 40% of an individual's income. But now, with the $600 federal unemployment booster every week, which at the time I'm making this video training is available until July 31st, with that amount, your weekly unemployment benefits with the federal booster pretty much comes close to what an average American worker would earn had they been working in a job. Now, keep in mind the average unemployment, the average maximum unemployment income is $371.88. So when you add $600 to that, you're getting almost $1,000 a week, which most individuals are eligible for. Now, I've gone over all the eligibility criteria for unemployment in another video on the channel. So make sure you subscribe so I can give you more updates about that as they come out, and make sure you check out that other video as well. But essentially, the pool of individuals who are now eligible for unemployment has increased substantially. It includes self-employed individuals. It includes gig workers who are not previously eligible for unemployment. It includes contracted workers. So the pool for unemployment has significantly increased. If you have been impacted as a result of this crisis, if you find it unsafe to travel, you would still be eligible for unemployment. And also a lot of the requirements, a lot of the criteria to be able to qualify for unemployment have been relaxed. But again, just because you qualify for unemployment and just because you apply for it doesn't mean that you'll get it quickly, because all the systems are in a state of overload. And I see a lot of comments from our subscribers who are still waiting for unemployment. But again, the point here is, if you are eligible for unemployment, you want to apply as quickly as possible and get in line, because that is a benefit that you have, that is something that you're eligible for, and it is something that you should definitely go ahead and do. If you're one of those individuals who's saying, I'm going to wait because everything's overloaded, my suggestion would be don't wait anymore, go ahead and apply it. And if you have already applied and you're waiting, you can follow up by email or by phone with your state authorities. I'll include a link down below to the appropriate state agency. Make sure you contact the correct state agency. Make sure you contact the correct person so that you can get some response from them. The second point is that you need to make a budget and trim all unnecessary expenses. Look at your credit card statements, look at all your expenses and ask yourself, do I absolutely need this? That's it. Just ask yourself, do I absolutely need this? If the answer is yes, then you have to keep it. If the answer is no, then you've got to cut it out. It's as simple as that. If anything's a maybe, it means you don't need it. So again, the question you have to ask yourself is, do I absolutely need this? Is it necessary? That's all. That's all you need to ask yourself. So make sure you cut out unnecessary expenses, because this will allow you to stretch whatever savings you have, whatever income you're getting, as long as possible. Try and only allocate your money, and try and only allocate all your mental energy to things that are absolutely necessary for you. Number 3, proactively reach out to creditors. If you have credit card debt, if you have a mortgage, if you have auto loans, you need to get in touch with all of these creditors and just let them know that you're going to be behind on your payments, that you need some kind of relief. The CARES Act has mandated a mortgage forbearance programs for all federally backed mortgages, so you have that option. Now keep in mind though, this doesn't mean that your payments will disappear and your financial obligations will disappear. This just means that you'll get some relief for some period of time. Ask for your late fees to be waived, ask for your finance charges to be waived. Each bank is different, each credit card company functions a little differently. Again, if you have a federally backed mortgage, you should be able to qualify for mortgage forbearance if you attest to difficulties during this pandemic, which we can all attest to, which most of us are really struggling. So what will happen is you will not have to make those payments for that period of time, but then those payments will come due at some point in the future. The best way for you to negotiate this is by talking to your lender and saying, hey, instead of charging me a whole lump sum at the end of the forbearance period, can you take that sort of, those due payments and attach them to the end of the loan, effectively extending the life of your loan when it comes to a mortgage. That's going to be the best situation for you, as opposed to a lump sum that's due after a few months of mortgage forbearance. Now, if you're a renter, you can talk to your landlord, you can talk to your management company, if that's who you deal with, and let them know that you're having a hard time. Let them know about your situation, and they'll be willing to work with you to perhaps work out an installment plan or some other plan so that you can experience some sort of financial relief. Again, this doesn't mean that that your obligations don't exist. This simply means that your obligations are postponed to a later point in time. Now, point number 4, you now need to take extra precautions to protect yourself against identity theft, against fraud, against people stealing your stimulus checks or trying to get unemployment on your behalf. Yes, this is a real threat. A lot of scammers have set up websites with the word stimulus checks in them so that they can actually trick you, they can con you into you giving them your information, your social, your date of birth, your name, your address, your driver's license number. These are important data points which scammers can use to get into the IRS website and actually steal your stimulus checks. Now, I did do another training video on 8 things that you can do to prevent scammers from stealing your stimulus checks, to protect you from stealing your stimulus checks. It involves not clicking on unnecessary links in emails, not responding to any text messages, not interacting with anybody who calls you on the phone and claims to be from the IRS or the Social Security Administration. You do not want to talk to these individuals. You do not want to go to any websites that look like the IRS website, that look like they will give you an update on your stimulus money. You need to directly go to the IRS website yourself, as opposed to clicking on a link in an email or being led somewhere by some scammer who's out there to steal your information. Again, I did a separate training video on 8 things you can do. Please check that out. It's one of those videos that I put a lot of research into, and I want you to watch it. It'll be the best 10 minutes you ever spent. And speaking of spending time, a lot of time goes into creating these videos. I would really appreciate it if you can click the like button below. Also, if you can click the subscribe button to become a member of our community. That way you'll get immediate updates from me, and also click the notification button so that you can find out whenever I release any important breaking news that can help you and protect and preserve and grow your financial future. And point number 5, as an emergency, as a last ditch option, you can tap into your IRAs or even tap into cash balances or cash advances from your credit card. That for me would be the absolute last option, the last resort. In fact, the IRS just issued a series of Q&As, and I'm going to link to that in the comment section in the description below. Now, if you have any questions about this, you will need to get in touch with an accountant or a financial advisor. You can also get in touch with the IRS directly. You can post specific questions, but I'm going to direct you back to your accountant or a financial advisor. So here's what the IRS actually said. The IRS said a certain section 2202 of the CARES Act provides for expanded distribution options and favorable tax treatment for up to $100,000 of illness-related distributions from eligible retirement plans, which includes certain employer retirement plans, which includes 401k, 403b plans, and IRAs for qualified individuals, as well as special rollover rules with respect to such distribution. So my recommendation would be read the release from the IRS, because I've included it in the description below. It was just issued by the IRS and it's extremely beneficial. Now, what is the definition of a qualified individual under the CARES Act? Because normally whenever you withdraw money from an IRA, there is a penalty, but now all the rules have been relaxed, and I would refer you back to the IRS for all the latest rules. Again, click on the link in the description below to be able to get those rules. You are a qualified individual if, and point number 3 here that you'll see on your screen is the really important point. You are a qualified individual if you satisfy certain requirements. One of them is you experience adverse financial consequences as a result of being quarantined, which, by the way, is almost all of us, being furloughed or laid off or have work hours reduced due to this illness. Now, that tells you that almost all Americans are eligible for these amendments, this amended guidance to IRA withdrawals. So I would recommend that you read this. More and more guidance comes along from the IRS at regular intervals, and so I would refer you back to a financial advisor or the IRS website. So once again, I'm going to recap the 5 things you need to do if you're out of work and the bills are piling up. Number 1, make sure that you're applying for all available benefits. State employment is the primary benefit. Hopefully you've gotten your stimulus check now, or you've started to get all the benefits, including the $600 federal booster that's available to all of those who qualify for unemployment. So make sure you qualify for and that you apply for all available benefits. That would be the first thing. The second thing would be that you make a budget and trim and get rid of all unnecessary expenses. Take a look at all your bills, all your statements, and get rid of anything that you don't need. The third thing would be get in touch with all your creditors, your credit card company, your mortgage company, also your auto loans. So get in touch with all of them and work out options for financial relief. Number 4, please protect your identity and prevent fraud. I strongly recommend that all of us sign up with a credit monitoring service that immediately alerts you if someone has used your credit, or if there's been a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry on your credit report. And I would also get in touch with all the 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, and if possible, freeze your credit so that no one can actually check your credit unless you unfreeze your credit. And you can also sign up for alerts directly with them. And the 5th point, as a last resort, tap into emergency funds like IRAs, including the Roth IRA, and credit card cash advances if you absolutely need the money as a last resort. I hope this was beneficial. If you're a member of our community, thank you so much for watching this training video. If you're not a member of our community, please click subscribe below and click the notification button so you can get instant alerts. And also please click the like button. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you all for watching. I know we'll get through this. This is not a situation that we want to be in, because at the end of the day, we want to be back at work. We want to resume our normal lives. We want to be able to interact with all our colleagues. The social distancing shouldn't mean that we lose sight of our friendships, of all our people. And I know at the end of the day, this is all about balancing lives and balancing livelihood. But I know we can get that, and I hope these tips were beneficial. One more time, please click subscribe, please click like, and please click the notifications button so you can get future updates. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.